everyone, I'm back in central London, and this week on So The Trends I am talking summer holidays. So I'm going to go and look in all the shops, see what is in, and then report back on patterns to go with the trends. So I am in Topshop now. I've just gone and had a look at all the sort of swimwear, stuff that you wear on the beach, and there's lots of interesting stuff. I'm going to film some of the stuff that I've seen so you can have a look. So I've been into probably like 6 or 7 shops, and I think I've sort of got the rundown of what is really popular. So in swimwear, loads and loads of swimwear, loads of metallics, which are quite quite a statement look. In terms of, sorry, there's a loud beeping noise. In terms of like all the sort of summery clothes that you take on holiday, lots of caftans, lots of floaty stuff. There's sort of like a real peasant tops, embroidery, that sort of thing. So I think in terms of the sort of key shapes, I've got a good idea. So I am now going to head home and search through all the patterns and find you all the perfect ones to go with the looks. Before I head home, I'm just going to have a quick look in Liberty, mainly because I just want to go and buy some fabric, which I don't need. But yeah, look at all the beautiful flowers. Hi team, so I am back from town. I have gone through the website and I found patterns to go with sort of key trends for summer holidays. So I'm off on holiday in a couple of weeks, and I was thinking about a sort of capsule collection that is on trend with stuff that's on the high street. And I've got 5 or 6 different themes that I think would work quite well together, and you could definitely wear them in the summer, but I'm thinking holidays, even though it's 4 degrees outside. So I think this might be a longish video, so if you don't have a cup of tea or a glass of wine, now might be your point to go and get one. Right, so I'm going to get cracking. So the first thing that I saw were sort of ethnic sort of peasant tops, very sort of loose fitting, lots of embroidery, kind of floaty fabrics. And I found 2 patterns which I thought were perfect for it. The first one is the McCall's 7545. I'm sorry, my laptop is here so I can remember all of the patterns. I thought this was perfect, really lovely. It's got the statement sleeve that is everywhere on the high street at the moment. That sort of ethnic feel, it's got princess seams. It also comes in 3 or 4 variations so you can mix it up. But I actually really like the fabric that they've used, which is quite unusual, the fabric they've used for the pattern cover. So I think that sort of mixing of prints would work really well. Yeah, I really liked it, and I thought that was quite on trend for what I'd seen. The next one that I have picked is the Parker collection. So this was designed by sewing blogger Fiona Parker with Tribe Patterns, and it came out about a week ago. I picked the top version of this because I thought this would work perfectly. The embroidery that you can see in the image is embroidery that you can actually do yourself. There's a downloadable pattern piece with all the embroidery already on there. So I thought it was a nice way to sort of mix your skills, so your sewing and your embroidery. The top is pretty much, very similar to the shapes that I saw on the high street. The sort of bib at the front, gathering. It has 3/4 length sleeves, but you can add different sleeve options on there as well. But also if you wanted to make it short sleeved, it would totally work. And I thought you could make it in lots of different fabrics. So again, definitely one for a bit of mixing of prints. So that's our first sort of like little theme. The next one I picked was this sort of, it was definitely around last summer and it's back again. So a sort of roughly off the shoulder dress and top, and I found, well, I only have one pattern for this because I found the perfect one that's literally exactly the same as all the stuff on the high street. It's from Vanessa Pouze and it's the hippie dress and top. So this comes in, yeah, obviously a dress and a top version. It's got the ruffle, which I think has got an elasticated around the top, and then it's got little ties over the shoulder. You can leave these off if you don't want them, but I quite like it if you're covering your bra straps. Also, it would be quite good for if you're going down to the beach, you can throw it on over your bikini, or, you know, at the end of the day when it gets a bit colder. So yeah, I was really pleased with this one, and I think this would be perfect for summery wears. The next one, there's sort of two patterns in one. So it is it's a sort of culotte, loose, baggy, 3/4 length trouser with quite a structured, oversized top. So this sort of look was in loads and loads of different shops in various sort of forms. I picked, for the top, I've got one pattern which I thought was really interesting. It's a new one actually. It's called the Collins Top by In the Folds, and she is based in Australia, and she's done really interesting patterns, and I really like her sort of aesthetic, and I thought this top was really interesting. I'll show you as well as the image of it. I'll show you the line drawings because it's got loads of seam details which make it really interesting. It also comes in a sleeveless version, so you can, you know, if you're going to be somewhere hot and you want no sleeves, then this is perfect. But yeah, I really like this, and I think it's an interesting cut to it and interesting silhouette. I quite like that sort of looser, especially when it's hot. Looser is better for me. So yeah, I really like this one. And so the trouser version of this, sorry, I'm losing my thoughts. I've got two options for this. So those sort of elasticated waist midi trouser, I'm not such a huge fan of the elasticated waist personally, so I've got a second option for those who don't. So the first option are the Nini culottes by Named Clothing, and this is part of their new summer range. Quite simple in terms of construction, loose fitting, 3/4 length, really nice sort of, I think perfect as a sort of wardrobe staple if it suits you and that shape works for you. And as I say, these were everywhere on the high street, so I'd highly recommend those ones. If you don't like an elasticated waist, now I've said this and I haven't actually checked whether it does, but I don't think it does. Yes, so these are the Botanic trousers from Pauline Alice, and these are part of her latest patterns that she released for summer. And I really like these. I guess these are slightly more culotte-y than the last ones I showed you, and perhaps slightly more feminine in their sort of silhouette. So these have got pleats on the front, pockets, they're high-waisted as well, no elasticated waist, and they've got a removable belt as well, and you can make it in different lengths. So if you wanted to have them above the knee, you could do that as well. So yeah, I thought those would be quite a nice sort of, and quite versatile, like you could wear those just down to the beach, but you could also wear those out in the evening with a nice top. So yeah, really liked those. The next one is, there were quite a lot, which is, I mean, not really revolutionary in terms of trends, but there were a lot of them, sort of quite simple jersey dresses. Some of them had quite a cocoon silhouette, and then some of them were sort of quite flared underneath the bust. And I thought these would be really nice for throwing on over stuff, and also quite quick to make. So I've got two patterns. So the first one I've got, so if you don't like the cocoon shape and you want something that's that kind of flares from the bust, I've got the Ebony Dress from Closet Clace Patterns. So this was released last month. Really nice sort of pattern. Again, quite easy to make. It definitely flares from the bust, and it's got quite a lot of excess, so it's quite a loose silhouette. And yeah, it would be a nice simple make, and yeah, I think you can make it without sleeves or with sleeves. It's completely up to you. So I thought that one worked quite well. The next one I've got is, it's called the Lodo dress from True Bias, and I love this pattern. I really, if you like a cocoon shape and that suits your silhouette, then this is perfect. I think it's just a nice cut, and it looks great on her, and she's curvy, which I always like seeing patterns on people that are a bit curvy, because I then can envision it on myself. So it's quite a simple shape, little, I like that it has slight, they're not even cap sleeves, they're sort of included, but I like this cut over, so it just covers the top of your shoulder. The midi length, which is the length that I'm showing you, is the length that I prefer. I think it's quite flattering, and it's got a little split up the back, so that's nice as well. In terms of construction, really simple. It's one panel at the front, it's got a seam up the centre back, and what is quite interesting about it is that she has done her facing for the inside around the neckline in a woven, so I thought that was quite interesting, and yeah, I really like this. I think it's a goodie. It's a goodie. So next up, what are we on now? Where am I? I've got lost. Shirt dress. So, you know, the shirt dress I feel like is in every summer. There's in different variations. This summer was quite sort of loose fitting, quite relaxed fit, I would say, for most of the ones that I saw. Lots of florals and again embroidery, so if you're looking for a print, I'd go, you know, big florals were everywhere. So the first one I've got is the Rita shirt dress from Name Clothing. This is again part of their summer collection range, and I just love it. I've seen loads and loads of people make it on Instagram, and it looked great on everyone. Again, a relaxed fit. It's got a drawstring around the waist, so fit wise it's easier. Bust darts that are underneath the pockets, which again you could leave off if you didn't want to. But yeah, it's really nice. It's got splits up the side as well, and I think if you're packing to go on holiday, and quite often these days, you know, you don't put stuff in the hold because it's so expensive to put something in the hold, I think this dress you could wear this loads, like day and night dress, so it would be perfect for that. I think it would work best in a sort of drapey fabric, and again, as I said, big florals would be the way I would go. The other dress that I've got, shirt dress, is slightly more fitted. It's the Simplicity 8014, and this is I've seen a lot of people make this on Instagram, and I picked it because it looks fantastic on everyone. It's fitted, so it's got almost like, it's not empire line, but it's very much, the waist seam is very much on the waist. It comes in different options, and you can make it a longer version as well. So most of the ones that I saw in the shop were sort of midi length, and you could definitely do that with this. But also if you want something a bit shorter, then this has got you covered. So I think this one, I would probably make this in something a little bit more structured. The Rita dress would look great in a rayon or a silk or something with loads of drape, whereas I think this, because of all the features on it, I think looks better in a sort of like a cotton where it's got more structure to it. But yeah, I really like this, and I thought this would be a good one for summer. And actually, I think once you've got the fit nailed on this, this is like transitional, you can wear it through the winter as well. So yeah. Next up, we have got swimsuits and bikinis, basically most people's bit where they kind of go, ooh. There were lots and lots of swimsuits, so I'll do that first, and I've just got one pattern for this. The swimsuits, a lot of them were either very low cut at the front, or were kind of higher cut with all the detail on the back. Lots and lots of straps, like loads and loads of strapping, crossing and all of that stuff. So I chose for this the Soma swimsuit from Paper Cut Patterns, and I thought this was a really nice shape. It's got the detail on the back with the crossing over, strapping, and I really like the front details as well, with that sort of little extra bit of strapping just above the bust. I mean, and again, you could make this in loads of different fabrics if you wanted it to, I think the picture looks quite sort of obviously black so you can see the details in it, but it would look amazing in a big bright floral print as well. So yeah, I picked that one for if you want to do a swimsuit. The other one that I picked, obviously, you know, bikinis and swimsuits don't change hugely in terms of trend, and I wanted something that was a bit more classic, so because I saw lots and lots of sort of very kind of classic bikinis, because most people, I don't know, I'm generalising, a lot of people just, you know, stick with what they know. So I picked the Sophie swimsuit and bikini by Closet Case Patterns. So if you haven't made a bikini before and you feel like you want to take on the challenge, I would highly recommend going with Closet Case Patterns. She's done a really good sew along, and you get a lot of help and guidance, holding your hand every step of the way. And I've seen this on quite a few people and it looks incredible on everyone. And I think the thing I really like about it is the two-piece cup, so that you can have different prints on above and below, and it makes it look quite different. So yeah, I definitely think you could make it your own, and I really like it. So I think that is all my patterns. My last thing, which is not a pattern but something that you could make for your holiday, are espadrilles. So obviously, I mean, I'm hardly like it's hardly a wild new trend, but obviously most summer espadrilles are out in the shops and I love them and I think they're great. But I don't know if you know that you can now buy espadrille soles and make your own. So I'll pop a link down below to Guthrie & Ghani, who is based in the UK, and she has got a little section on her site where you can buy the espadrille sole, the right thread and the needles to go with it. So I thought this would be a really fun little project and it wouldn't take you too long. The other thing you could do is you could embroider it before you put it onto the shoe, which might be really nice, because then you've got a little bit of the, if you don't want to go full on embroidery in your clothing, you could definitely do it in your shoes. So I feel like I whizzed through that. I hope that was kind of enough information and I hope you enjoyed it. I will pop a link down below to a blog post with all of the patterns on that I spoke about in the video. I'll also put direct links to the patterns below as well, so you can go and have a look at those. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back soon with another video. Bye!